Hey guys, this is Anon with some nice relaxing SU-152 gameplay today. It's definitely a nice go-to tank if you just feel like derping something and just kind of having some fun. So in this first battle I'm on Canal with 2011 mechs from Storm, and we're just gonna kind of cruise through this game. Should be a lot of fun. So I don't, in general, run a lot of TDs, but this is one that I really have a lot of fun with. This cannon is pretty fantastic. As you can see from the loadout, I keep a lot of heat in it, and that's just to protect, essentially, from those Tier 9 battles you get into. It handles itself really, really well at Tier 9 because of the fantastic gun on it, but not something that you're going to want to get shot in a lot, though, either. So I'm just kind of cruising up here. This isn't, because of the derp, it's not a tank I want to necessarily do distance sniping with, because it just doesn't have that kind of accuracy, but is more of a mid-range supporter. It does a really fantastic job, so I'm coming up on the ridge just to see if we can get some early shots. Also, since I'm actually high tier in this battle, I can be a little bit more aggressive with it. And it also causes a lot of ammo switching too. There's a lot of soft targets in this particular battle, so that lets me shoot a lot of HE, but in other engagements or as more high tier I won't be able to do it. So as you can see from this shot, it still definitely can snipe. It's got decent accuracy, but that's the gun arc, or the ammo arc on it, is really slow and long, so you have to kind of time your shots with it a little bit. So rolling back, because we're starting to get pushed by some of their higher tier. They push up too far, so I decided to pop down to this left side and see if I can't pick up this SP, who's a really dangerous tank to have running around. So trying to get that gun down, and luckily can get rid of him, which is pretty great. And now trying to push forward, get a little overly aggressive in here, and trying to get this T-29, because I'm almost loaded, but I even see the crossfire about to happen, but I push forward anyway. Not the proudest moment, but you know, easy to make mistakes. I'm still being a little stubborn here because of the top tier, trying to get the shot in, realize that this is not a good idea. So now I'm trying to back out, but I'm taking a lot of shots in the process. Pretty sure I'm dead at this point, but luckily can just keep rolling. And giving a little wiggle there, trying to bounce something, but it's just not a tank that's going to be great at that. Luckily we've got some team now starting to distract, so I can kind of flip around and run away from it. And now I just want to relocate. It changes the game completely, because now I'm in more of a defensive mode, just trying to stay alive. See the Cromwell, and he's been, you know, popping around, been a little bit dangerous, but that Leo, I'm not quite sure how much he can pen. He gets a few shells through, so luckily I was able to get that shot into him and get some good accuracy. Now the Cromwell pushes, and unfortunately he probably misfires there. So getting a little lucky with this game too, but with that great derp as a high tier tank, it's kind of fun what it can do and change the battle with it. So popping up here, but being careful, trying to use the bushes, trying to, you know, get some shots. And this is when I finally realized that I've actually got 5 kills already, and that there's a possibility to have a really nice game, but I have to be careful. They're both looking up. Honestly, I don't care about the Rasen too much, because I want to win this battle, because it's 2 big tanks that are left. So I'm kind of starting to roll around to relocate for another shot, and then so I can see the KV-3 poking up and get the heat loaded. Just kind of know the soft spots to hit on that KV-3. I didn't think it would go through, but it did. And so got a little bit lucky with that too, but keeping the heat loaded at this point, because there is a chance, and that's when everybody else on the team notices that I have the chance at 7. But like I said, I only have 32 hit points at this point, so it is what it is. Sure, if they'll let me, I will happy to take the shot at it, but you know, it's if he's watching me at all, it should be pretty easy to get the kill on me. So roll around, figure no matter what, gonna go for the glory and try for the shot. He's watching, so luckily he knows what was coming to. Roll back and managed to get that last non-fully aimed shot in there. So I'll take those games anytime. It's still a little bit challenging, because I made that great mistake kind of in the middle, but was able to kind of regroup and work the way through there. So like I said, a nice kind of fun, relaxing SU game. And then after that, I will switch over and work as a low tier tank here for another gameplay. This is one of those tier 7s that I think does really, really well as low tier because, like I said, it has that great heat. So in a battle like this, looking at the makeup, I'm pretty much going to go ahead and start with heat loaded because there's a lot of heavies. Actually, I mean, they're a pretty balanced team, but it's a lot of tanks that HE isn't going to be super valuable in, especially here on Mirage. So I'm kind of just I'm letting all the other tanks get out ahead of me to start because I definitely want to be in more of a second or third row kind of supporting role. I want to be close enough where I can get some accurate shots in, but not to the point where I'm sniping again just because of this accuracy. So letting them work up and get some spots. Right away we see a lot of the heavies running in, and I'm not seeing any of the mediums, which tells me that they are most likely flanking. So I'm going to come up and give a couple quick peeks, but I can see a couple of their heavies to the left on this hill, and some of our guys starting to push, and I don't want to hang back and wait for shots there because I'm really concerned that their mediums are going to flank around, and if they get behind me, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. So I decide to push with them and really take that second line role. Hoping to flank all the way around, but the Patton I can see is getting his hands full with this IS-6, so I can turn around and get a nice shot into him there and let them be able to finish it off. This Tiger P is now starting to push around. Reasons I have, again, this heat loaded. HE's not going to do anything even to the side of him. So get in here and unfortunately get a real big RNG roll there. But it happens, and also, heat is still a finicky beast. It gives you that penetration, but will definitely have some issues from time to time. So getting loaded, take my time to aim a little bit more carefully there, and it works out. And kind of rotating, I always like to keep this thing at kind of some funky angles because you will get some bounces, especially off that gun mantlet. But it's not necessarily something you can count on either. I notice on the map that now their mediums are starting to show up, so I do an about face because don't want to get flanked. And can kind of rotate and switch to HE because with the Chi-Ri coming in, I know I can definitely hurt him in that way, and does perfectly. I see that Panther 2 start to aim at me, so I'm rotating back. Unfortunately, he is able to get that shot in, but I keep rotating because that Chi-Ri is going to come right at me, and I'll be a two out of his clip. So luckily, I'm able to reload and keep him pushed away. Panther 2 comes charging in, and I want to charge him too because he doesn't have much gun depression, and cause him to have kind of a tricky shot. And then Spinks, I know if I can keep myself spinning, I can get that HE round into his hull, and luckily do cause him to panic a little bit there and miss a couple shots because he knows how big this gun is. Also, right there before I fired the second round, I rolled off of him, and that's not an aiming thing. It's just this is a big HE shell and heat shells, and I don't want to take the splash damage from it because it could damage my gun or driver at this point in the game. And you certainly don't want that. So keeping an eye on the IS-8, I load heat again because they're tier 9 tanks, and I just don't want to mess around with it. HE shell might be enough on the Patton, but it's not worth the risk. So able to get the shot on him, and now we have the IS-8 cornered. But again, I'm a one-shot, so we're trying to be a little bit careful with it and watch where he's pointing. I come and swing around and point right at him just in case he does that little head peek again. So I'm just kind of waiting to see if he peeks out or the 44 decides to run in. 44 runs in, so I go ahead and take the back position in case the IS-8 rolls back, but luckily the 44 gets the job done. So even in a tier 9 battle as a tier 7, this thing can really rack up the damage. If you can get yourself in a good position in that second tier and make good accurate shots, you can really help your team a lot. So, and it's a pretty tough tank to ace. Doesn't happen very often, takes a lot of damage, and yeah, so relax, go derp, and have a good weekend.